Hey everybody, this is Matt Macram and Danny McRae coming to you for episode number 3. We're going to be going over Biden's address before Congress. I think that was yesterday. We haven't watched the whole thing yet. And so, Daniel, you got anything to say, bro?
Yeah, I think everyone should respect the office of the president as we do. I think it's also very important to actually pay attention to what they're doing because these people that live, less than 500 miles away from us are actually controlling almost every aspect of our life. So it definitely behooves us to actually pay attention to what they're saying.
It's only 500 miles.
I would say it's probably somewhere around there. You'll see in front of us the couple books. They're the same, White Fragility, written by a lady named Robin DiAngelo. Got a friend of mine who's actually really delving into this book. We'll be talking about it pretty soon. I'd say within the next couple weeks. I want to give you an update. The last podcast, we actually were talking about cultural Marxism. Just want to let everybody know down in Johnson City, there is a school board meeting on this Monday coming up. It is the 3rd at 6 p.m. Quite a few of us are actually going to go there and attend. And as Gramsci said, politics is downstream from culture. Culture is downstream from education. So that is where you need to be paying your attention at or to. So whenever
Awesome.
you're ready, let's hit this video.
All right, guys. Compliments to C-SPAN here. Let's get this video pulled up here. Still trying to figure this stuff out, guys. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, representing Tennessee today. You guys have been fussing about my Carolina hat, so I'm on board now.
Well, I think was everyone else doing it, or is it just me?
You are everybody, brother.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
You're my only friend.
Well, I wasn't going to say anything about that, but look, there he is. Oh, Presidente.
Let's learn.
First Lady, I'm her husband.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Second gentleman, Chief Justice, members of the United States Congress and the Cabinet, distinguished guests, my fellow Americans. While the setting tonight is familiar, this gathering,
I wonder if he's got
just a little bit
an
different.
earpiece in.
Reminder of the extraordinary
I'm
times
not sure.
we're in.
If he doesn't, he probably should.
Throughout our history, presidents have come to this chamber to speak to Congress, to the nation, and to the world, to declare war, to celebrate peace, to announce new plans and possibilities. Tonight, I come to talk about crisis and opportunity, about rebuilding the nation, revitalizing our democracy, and winning the future for America. I stand here tonight, one day shy of the 100th day of my administration. 100 days since I took the oath of office and lifted my hand off our family Bible and inherited a nation, we all did, that was in crisis. The worst pandemic in a century, the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression, the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War.
Was he talking about the last year and a half when like $2 billion worth of damage has been done?
No, he's talking about the insurrection.
Oh,
yeah, he's saying that's the worst thing to happen.
Oh,
That's the worst thing to happen.
Wouldn't be like our congressional leaders like Maxine Waters telling people to get confrontational and get up in people's faces.
Well, the thing, no, and the thing is,
okay.
he's
Am I
like,
wrong?
no Pearl Harbor.
Oh,
No,
what about 9/11? That was pretty.
9/11. No, that was the worst.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, you weren't watching. You didn't pay attention.
Okay.
Let's hear what else.
Now, granted, I don't advise people to do that, break into Capitol House.
No, for sure. But
Yeah.
I mean, clearly you didn't realize it was the worst thing that ever happened since the Civil War.
Setbacks and the strength. We all know life can knock us down. But in America, we never, ever, ever stay down. Americans always get up. Today, that's what we're doing. America's rising anew, choosing hope over fear, truth
over
facts,
facts,
lies, and light over darkness.
We choose
After
truth
100 days of
over
rescue and
facts.
renewal, America is ready for a takeoff, in my view. We're working again, dreaming again, discovering again,
Good old grandfather
leading
time
the
there
world
in full
again.
screen.
We have shown each other and the world that there's no quit in America. None. 100 days ago, America's house was on fire. We had to act. And thanks to the extraordinary leadership of Speaker Pelosi, Majority Leader Schumer, and the overwhelming support of the American people, Democrats, Independents, and Republicans, we did act. Together, we passed the American Rescue Plan, one of the most consequential rescue packages in American history. We're already seeing the results.
We sure are, Mr. Jimmy.
We're already seeing the results. After I promised we'd get 100 million COVID-19 vaccine shots into people's arms in 100 days, we will have provided over 220 million COVID shots in those 100 days.
Even though that Donald Trump had already been doing, what is it? They were already hitting a million per day, yeah, under
We're
Trump.
marshaling every federal resource. We've gotten vaccines to nearly 40,000 pharmacies and over 700 community health centers where the poorest of the poor can be reached. We're setting up community vaccination sites, developing mobile units to get to hard-to-reach communities. Today, 90% of Americans now live within 5 miles of a vaccination
How many
site.
people live in those hardest to reach
Everyone.
places? Like,
Over
he's
the
making it
age
seem
of
like it's a huge
16,
number of people. Like,
everyone
oh, those people that are so
now
far away.
eligible to
We
get
got
vaccinated
mobile units.
right now.
Yeah.
I think if they probably wanted a vaccine, they probably go get one.
Yeah.
Go and get the vaccination. They're available. You're eligible now.
Look at
When I
that,
was
those
sworn
guys
in
crawling around on the
January
floor.
20th, less than 1% of the seniors in America are fully vaccinated against COVID-19. 100 days later, 70% of seniors in America over 65 are protected, fully protected. Senior deaths from COVID-19 are down 80% since January.
And
Down
that's
80%
because
of all of you.
President Biden.
And more than half of all
Not
the
herd
adults in
immunity
America
where everyone else
have gotten at least one
having
shot.
the virus and then also getting vaccinated.
A mass vaccination center in Glendale, Arizona. I asked the nurse, I said, "What's it like?" She looked at me and she said, "It's like every shot is giving a dose of hope," is her phrase, a dose of hope.
Except for the people that
A
have
dose
really
of hope for an
bad
educator
reactions
in
to it.
Florida
That
was
die.
a child suffering from an autoimmune disease. Wrote to me, said she's worried, and she was worried about bringing the virus home. She said she then got vaccinated at a large site in her car. She said she sat in her car when she got vaccinated and just cried out of joy and cried out of relief. Parents,
Or the shot hurt.
seeing the smiles on their kids'
No.
faces for those who are able to go back to school.
You had a vaccine,
Because the
haven't you?
teachers and
You got the
school bus
vaccine, didn't you?
drivers and
No.
cafeteria
Oh,
workers
your
were
wife did, though.
vaccinated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Grandparents hugging their children and grandchildren instead of pressing hands against a window.
Well,
Say
that
goodbye.
the people that had to do that was mostly
everything.
people in New York. Right, Governor
Those things
Cuomo
mean everything.
was locking
You know,
everyone
there's
down at the
still-
nursing home and
You
then
all know it.
sending
No better
people into the
neighborhood
nursing
for
home with
Americans.
COVID.
Yeah.
There's still more work to do to beat this virus. We can't let our guard down. But tonight,
Because the virus is just waiting around,
can
waiting
say
for people to put their guard down,
because of you,
and then it's going to jump everybody.
the American people, our progress these past 100 days against one of the worst pandemics in history has been one of the greatest logistical achievements.
Nancy Pelosi's mask looks really comfortable. It looks like
this
really
country's ever
fluffy.
seen. What else have we done in those first 100 days? We kept our commitment, Democrats and Republicans, of sending $1,400 rescue checks to 85% of American households. We've already sent more than
I think he's actually trying, though,
160 million
you know,
checks out the door.
To speak
It's making a difference.
in a
You
unifying
don't
way,
know when
though.
you go home.
Yeah, well, we haven't got all the way through the speech
For many
yet.
people,
Yeah.
it's making all the difference in the world. a single mom in Texas who wrote me. She said she couldn't work. But she said the relief check put food on the table and saved her and her son from eviction from their apartment.
I thought there was an eviction moratorium. I mean,
Yeah, there was.
Is it
There.
statewide?
Yeah, it's if it was in Texas,
Really
honestly,
took her
Texas might have just been like
granddaughter
to hell with that.
Yeah.
Something
Texas
she said
is
she
not
put
very
off for
tenant
months
friendly,
because
but
she didn't have the money.
but it's like if $1,400. I think we
One of the
talked about this
defining
before. If $1,400
from my
is
perspective,
the
this
life
crisis has been
and death of your
cars
home or food or
cars
anything,
lined up for miles.
it's a little bit too late. I mean, $1,400 is you
My
know,
people
just
just
half of the country's rent is probably more than that
Yeah.
for every month.
Yeah, it's
God, that's
unfortunate. Yeah,
I haven't been able to work. Thank you for that $1,400. Like, why don't you just give me a bigger tax refund? That's your money. They're giving you your money back.
Yeah.
And all of this is through no fault of their own. No fault of their own. These people are in this position. That's why the rescue plan is delivering food and nutrition assistance to millions of Americans facing hunger. And hunger is down sharply already. We're also providing rental assistance. You all know this. But the American people, I want to make sure they understand. Keeping people from being evicted from their homes. Providing loans to small businesses that reopen and keep their employees on the job. During these 100 days, an additional 800,000 Americans enrolled in the Affordable Care Act when I established a special sign-up period to do that. 800,000 in that period. We're making one of the largest one-time ever investments, ever, in improving healthcare for veterans. Critical investments to address the opioid crisis. And maybe most importantly, thanks to the American Rescue Plan, we're on track to cut child poverty in America in half this year.
How?
Yeah, I don't know.
And in the process, while this was all going on, the economy created more than 1,300,000 new jobs in 100 days. More jobs in the first 100 days than any president on record. The International
Because
Monetary
we're opening back up.
Because that's what happens whenever businesses
We're allowed to operate.
The International
they create jobs.
Monetary Fund is now estimating our economy will grow at a rate of more than 6% this year. That will be the fastest pace of economic growth in this country in nearly 4 decades.
Yeah, because I mean, what all of the I wonder what the percentage is in New York City of restaurants that are completely
We're in
gone.
competition
Yeah,
with
it's
China and other
bankrupt.
countries
It's a very large
to win the
percentage
21st century.
And then
that are
yeah,
never
We're at a great
opening again.
inflection
but now
point
if you
in history.
open new restaurants in
We
those
have to do more
spaces,
than
I
just
mean, it's
build
going to
back
create
better.
a
To build
increase
back
in the
up, build back
economy.
better.
Yeah.
One would imagine.
Well, hopefully things get better. I
Yeah.
hope.
More strenuously than we have. Throughout our history, if you think about it, public investment in infrastructure has literally transformed America. Our attitudes as well as our opportunities. The Transcontinental Railroad, the interstate highways, united 2 oceans and brought a totally new age of progress to the United States of America. Universal public schools and college aid opened wide the doors of opportunity. Scientific breakthroughs took us to the moon. Now we're on Mars. Discovering vaccines gave us the internet and so much more.
On Mars, discovering vaccines.
These are
Maybe
investments
Elon
we made
is
together
secretly.
as one country. And investments that
Just
only the
kidding.
government was in a position to make. Time and again, they propel us into the future. That's why I proposed the American Jobs Plan, a once-in-a-generation investment in America itself. This is the largest jobs plan since World War II. Creates jobs to upgrade our transportation infrastructure. Jobs, modernizing our roads, bridges, highways.
But all
Jobs
those things are
building ports and
maintained by the
airports, rail
state
corridors, transit
and the
lines.
local government. And if they
It's
do
clean
a
water.
poor job doing it,
And
that's
today,
their
up to 10
problem, right?
million homes in
The
America
federal
have more
government
than
come in. I guess that's how that's works. It works, right? I mean, it's
they disseminate money to the states.
Yeah.
But when the states don't do what the federal government wants them to do, they stop
clear
funding.
and present danger to our children's
And they
health.
threaten them with stopping funding.
American Jobs Plan creates jobs replacing 100% of the nation's lead pipes and service lines, so every American can drink clean water.
What about Flint? They're still screwed, aren't they?
Will create thousands
I'm
and
not sure, man. I
thousands
haven't
of
read an
good-paying
update on that
jobs.
yet.
It creates jobs connecting every American with high-speed internet, including 35% of the rural America that still doesn't have it.
That's also
It's going to help our kids.
there's also plans
and
from
our
the local
businesses
governments that are doing
succeed
that.
in
They're doing
the
that back home in
21st
Jefferson
century.
County, giving people that don't
I'm
have
asking
internet fiber
the
optic
Vice
first.
President to lead
And
this
then
effort,
also Elon Musk made
because I know
Starlink.
what they've done.
Starlink.
Starlink, yeah.
Or talking about
Creates jobs building a
like Resident
modern
Evil.
power grid.
Starnet,
Yeah.
whatever. I don't
Was
know.
it
Richer,
Starlink?
vulnerable to
No,
storm,
Starlink
hacks,
is
Yeah.
Elon Musk. Yeah,
catastrophic failures
Satellite.
with
Yeah.
tragic results.
it's $100 a month,
we saw in
50 to
Texas and
150
elsewhere during the
megs
winter
per
storms.
second. I mean, that's
The American
Awesome.
Jobs Plan will create jobs that lay thousands of miles of transmission lines needed to build a
transmission
resilient
lines.
and fully clean grid. We can do that.
Transmitting the electricity. Is that what they're, I
Yeah.
don't know the
Yeah.
term
That's
for
what I'm
that.
talking about, I guess.
American Jobs Plan will help millions of people get back to their jobs and back to their careers.
By
2
creating
million
different
women
jobs.
have dropped out of the workforce during this pandemic. 2 million.
2 million women, that is, sorry.
And too often because they couldn't get the care they needed to care for their child or care for an elderly parent who needs help.
So how could they afford to do that? I don't understand.
800,000 families are on the Medicare waiting list right now to get home care for their aging parent or loved one with disability. If you think it's not important, check out in your own district, Democrat or Republican. Democrat or Republican voters. Their great concern, almost as much as their children, is taking care of an elderly loved one who can't be left alone.
I think if
Medicaid
that works, it'd be a good plan.
contemplated it, but this plan is going to help those families and create jobs for our caregivers with better wages and better benefits, continuing a cycle of growth. For too long, we've failed to use the most important word when it comes to meeting the climate crisis: jobs. Jobs. Jobs.
I mean, we had the best economy on record in 2019 and the lowest number of unemployment in history
For me,
without the Green New
when I
Deal.
look at climate
Right.
change, I think jobs. American
Who's
jobs
trying to make
plan will
jobs?
put engineers and construction workers to work building more energy efficient buildings and homes. Electrical workers, IBEW members installing 500,000 charging stations along our highways so we can own the electric car market.
Yeah, federalize it? That's what
Farmers
it sounds like.
planting cover crops so they can reduce the carbon dioxide in the air and get paid for doing
Yeah,
it.
what the hell is a cover crop?
Look,
I don't know. I thought,
think about it. There is simply no reason why the blades for wind turbines can't be built in Pittsburgh instead of Beijing. No reason.
Well, cost of
No.
labor.
No reason.
Maybe he's saying if the federal government comes in and forces people to do things.
There's no reason why American workers
Against business
can't lead the world
practices.
with production of electric vehicles and batteries. I mean, there is no reason. We have the capacity.
Come on, man.
We're the brightest, best trained people in the world. The American Jobs Plan is going to create millions of good paying jobs Americans can raise a family on. As my dad would then say, with a little breathing room. And all the investments in the American Job Plan will be guided by one principle: buy American. Buy American.
I think Donald Trump would agree with that. It was pretty much his
And I
platform.
might note parenthetically That does not violate any trade agreement. It's been the law since the 30s. Buy American. American tax dollars are going to be used to buy American products made in America to create American jobs. That's the way it's supposed to be, and it will be in this administration.
American tax dollars.
I think it works better if the private industry.
It's it's called supply and demand.
Yeah.
And I made it clear.
It's like, no, just give us your money and we'll tell you where you should spend it.
Ability to give exemptions has been strenuously limited. It will be American products. Now, I know some of you at home are wondering whether these jobs are for you. So many of you, so many of the folks I grew up with feel left behind, forgotten, in an economy that's so rapidly changing.
Because those 80-something-year-old people are still in the job force.
Because you think about it. That's what people are most worried about. Can I fit in? Independent experts
I don't know anyone
estimate
who's
the
worried about
American
fitting in.
Jobs Plan will add millions of jobs and trillions of dollars to economic growth in the years to come. It is a 8-year program. These are good paying jobs that can't be outsourced. Nearly 90% of the infrastructure jobs created in the American Jobs Plan do not require a college degree. 75% don't require an associate's degree. The American Jobs Plan is a blue-collar blueprint to build America. That's what it is.
This is just the Green New Deal with a different name, is it not?
Let's see.
Making everything more green is basically what it said.
Yeah.
In this chamber and the other. Good guys and women on Wall Street, but Wall Street didn't build this country. The middle class built the country, and unions built the middle class. So that's why I'm calling on Congress to pass Protect the Right to Organize Act, the PRO Act, and send it to my desk so we can support the right to unionize.
I mean, why don't you have it now?
Yeah,
By the way, while you're thinking about sending things to my desk,
that's a state.
Like
it's a state thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but
raise the minimum wage to $15.
just by the way, Chipotle CFO just actually come out with an article stating that if the minimum wage went to $15 an hour, they would definitely pass on the cost to the customers.
No one working 40 hours a week should live below the poverty line. We need to ensure greater equity and opportunity for women. And while we're doing this, let's get the Paycheck Fairness Act to my desk as well. Equal pay.
I like Barbaritos better than Chipotle anyway. They have way better ingredients.
Too long, look behind me.
And they give you free chips and salsa. And
Not
it's cheaper.
anymore.
No, they don't.
I'm just joking,
The
man.
American Jobs Plan will be the biggest increase in non-defense research and development on record. We'll see more technological change. And some of you know more about this than I do.
I think that's probably
We'll see more
agreeable.
technological change in the next 10 years than we saw in the last 50. That's how rapidly artificial intelligence and so much more is changing. And we're falling behind the competition with the rest of the world. Decades ago,
Please cite your
we
sources.
invest 2% of our gross domestic product in America. 2% of our gross domestic product in research and development. Today, Mr. Secretary, that's less than 1%.
I
China
don't
and other
believe that.
countries are closing in fast. We have to develop and dominate the products and technologies of the future. Advanced batteries, biotechnology,
I think we are. I don't
computer
understand.
chips, clean energy. The Secretary of Defense can tell you, and those of you on working.
Pretty sure we have more nuclear power plants than any other
Defense
country.
Department has
Is that
agency called
a
DARPA,
fact?
I'm not sure, man,
the
but I know we have
Defense
quite a few.
Advanced Research Project Agency. The people who set up before I came here, and that's been a long time ago,
So he's trying to create a new federal agency just now.
to
That's what he's saying.
develop breakthroughs that enhance our national security. That's their only job. And it's a semi-separate agency. It's under the Defense Department. It's led to everything from the discovery of the internet to GPS and so much more.
He's talking about NASA.
It's enhanced our
I think
security.
we're talking about DARPA.
Or yeah. DARPA.
The national
Yeah,
Institute
it
of
already
Health,
exists.
the NIH, I believe, should
Well,
create
actually, yeah, they actually
a
were
similar
the ones that
advanced
created
research.
educational system.
Man, you
What's
know what? I don't know if we lost the sound again.
Okay.
We'll have to check that out. Man, that's gonna be super annoying if so.
Yeah. Like I say, if you're local, Johnson City, the school board meeting is on Monday at 6. We'll go see if they have any Marxist ideas.
Oh man. Yeah, sorry, man. Whoever, Moshka, yeah, I just noticed that it was not giving you guys sound. So I'll probably cut the video and reconnect it. Sorry about that. It did that last time too. But yeah, anyway, so I want to bring up too again, people who might have been watching last show that they need to go to the Johnson City website and sign up for those committees because we need good conservative people on those committees because they're going to be making decisions on like housing and development, um, local government kind of things, and they're like 3-year long volunteer positions.
I think they meet once a month.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think some of them probably meet longer than that.
Okay.
But those are really important because if you get someone in there who's going to be pushing some radical ideas, they're going to be deciding zoning laws
Mm-hmm.
or helping the commissioner to decide. I mean, they have a direct
Yeah.
line to the commissioner. Man, can't believe that sound cut out. That sucks.
Yeah. At which point, though?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out and we'll
Yeah.
chop it.
All right. Well, everybody, have a good evening, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, and check us out on Spotify too, so you can just listen to the show if you want to. So, yeah, and Patrick said the Great Reset is coming. It sure does look like it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, guys, check us out. MadForCongress.vote and subscribe to our YouTube and follow us on Spotify. Hope everyone has a good night. Thanks again for tagging along. See you guys next time.